Gordon Hayward has made a decision, and he has decided to go green. Not money green, not going green in terms of saving the environment, but Celtics green. Gordon Hayward agreed to a 4-year, $128 million deal with the Boston Celtics, and Isaiah Thomas is rejoicing, and the Celtics look like they're retooled and they're ready to make a run to get out of the Eastern Conference. This move was something that the Celtics have been waiting for. They have been waiting for a player, like a star player caliber kind of player. They haven't had that since Paul Pierce, basically. You know, Paul Pierce was like, if anybody remembers, him and Antoine Walker, they basically kept the franchise afloat, even though they were terrible. And then KG came, Ray Allen came, but they finally had that versatile player who could play defense on the wing, attack the basket, shoot threes, and is a big player. Not like Isaiah Thomas was a small player, point guard, who obviously, you know, most teams can't function with the point guard being their best player. See what I'm saying? So that's a relief for the Boston Celtics, and their potential lineup is Boston's potential lineup is Isaiah Thomas at the 1, Avery Bradley at the 2, Gordon Hayward at the 3, Jay Crowder at the 4, and Al Horford as the 5. So what they see is they're gonna go small. Like, they see that the trend for the league is going small. You want 5 guys on the court who could potentially hit a 3. Al Horford, Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Gordon Hayward, Isaiah Thomas, they all can hit 3s. They all space the floor, so you really can't really cheat off of them. And then you got to factor in the fact that they have a very deep roster. I mean, their starting 5, I just named them, but they still have Tatum, the rookie Tatum. They have Brown. So their team is loaded. Now, one of the things me and my colleagues and I were talking about was the fact that Boston Celtics have a lot of small forwards. They have like about four small forwards: Hayward, Crowder, Tatum, Brown. Like, so in my estimation, what the Celtics might do if they don't decide to completely go small is package a couple of draft picks along with either Brown or Crowder and ship them off to maybe like a Clippers and try to get a big man in DeAndre Jordan. Something to that effect, something to that degree, so they can get even better rim protection. But if they choose not to do so, you know, one of those guys could learn to play the 2, I suppose. But the Celtics have a very deep roster. They are everybody thought like the Wizards were the top comp for the Cleveland Cavaliers, due to the simple fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers have very poor transition defense and the Wizards thrive off transition. But right now, the way that it's looking with the Boston Celtics, they're retooled, they're revving to go. They didn't get Paul George, but they got Gordon Hayward, and that team is a formidable team. You have 5 players on the court that can play defense. You have 5 players on the court who could score the basketball in an efficient manner. And with Gordon Hayward reuniting with his coach, I mean, that speaks volumes, because he already has some kind of knowledge of what the coach likes to run from his college days and familiarity. So that's gonna work out very well in the Celtics' favor. Maybe not right away, but eventually it will. And as far as the Utah Jazz, the simple fact that they were unable to keep Gordon Hayward is really like making them upset. You know, Rudy Gobert had a choice video for Gordon Hayward. And people in Utah are already burning his jersey. They are very upset. They're burning his jersey, treating him like LeBron James.
Gonna go like crazy. Woo! Goodbye, Gordon.
It was fun while it lasted.
Thanks for betraying us. Have fun being LeBron's little B-word.
Yep, you're gonna be. Bye.
See ya.
Go have fun with your leprechaun.
The execution.
Peace out.
The execution of him.
Business is business. And at the end of the day, if you have a player not willing to take the max with his own team, what that speaks is to how the organization is run. Gordon Hayward signed for 4 years, $128 million. The Utah Jazz could have offered him 5 years, $172 million. He left $44 million on the table. So to him, the money and staying with the organization wasn't important because he didn't feel like the organization was bringing what he needed to win. He didn't feel like he could win with the organization. Anybody that passes up $44 million, they have a reason. And that reason, most likely, for basketball players is the organization is just not good enough. Like, even with Chris Paul left the Clippers to go to Houston. He left $180 million on the table. He could have signed a max $200 million, 5-year, $200 million deal. He said, screw the money. I can't win here. Even though part of it was his fault, he's also saying, like, this organization is not giving me what I need to win. So what the Utah Jazz fans have to understand is the organization is just not giving the guy what he feels like he needs to win, and that's why he left. You know, there's no need to burn his jersey. There's no need to call him a hoe and he ain't loyal and stuff like that. Because the simple fact is like this. There's so much pressure on guys to win rings and to do well. They want to go to situations where they want to do well. So they're taking a big risk, gambling on themselves, taking way less money. What if he goes to the Boston Celtics, he gets swept? He's going to be pissed because he's like, I just gave up $44 million and I'm going to keep getting swept until LeBron retires. See what I'm saying? So that's one factor you got to factor into it. But these guys have so much pressure on them to win, they're willing to do things like leave the organization. He played with the organization for how many years? He did his job. He played well. He didn't complain. Now it's his free agency and he leaves, and then like everybody in Utah wants to get upset. It's like, you gotta understand, like, Stockton and Malone aren't playing with you guys anymore. Like, you know, last player you had before Hayward was Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer, and that was back in 2009 or 2010. So, I mean, you guys, that's 8 years ago. And then before that, 1998, that's when you had Stockton and Malone. Like, Utah's not popping to get, like, stars or anything. Like, you have to understand Gordon Hayward's position. He wants to win, and he was willing to take a pay cut of $44 million. Now, if it was me, I would just stay there for the simple fact that I don't want to give up $44 million, and I don't know his mentality, but I don't see Gordon Hayward as a transcendent star to win championships. But he's a star nonetheless. I like his game. I think he's great on both ends of the court. I just, like, me personally, if I was in a position, I wouldn't leave $44 million on the table. I don't know when I'll ever get that. But he's saying, hey, man, I don't feel like I will win here. I did my job, and now I'm signing somewhere else. Like, fans need to, like, get over this. Like, ever since LeBron left and went to Miami, like 6 years ago, 7 years, like, this all needs to stop. This needs to stop. Like stars have been leaving their team since, you know, the dawn of time, getting traded. When they get traded, everybody is cool with it. But when they choose to sign somewhere else, everybody wants to burn your jersey. They want to, you know, go crazy and get upset. Like, there's no need to get upset. Like, Utah is not popping. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Like, I don't even know when's the last time. You haven't been to the finals since 1998. So, you know, like, that's 19 years. There's no need to be upset, Utah fans. You know, the organization just could not entice him to stay with the team. And that's just the bottom line. You know, he's going to the Celtics. The Celtics is going to be a formidable match for the Cavaliers. I guarantee that they're going to win. If they face off in the playoffs against the Cavs, they're going to win more than one game. And they possibly could push the Cavaliers because now they have guys that could kind of match up. Not to say Hayward could guard LeBron, but at the same time, he's no slouch. And Isaiah Thomas is going to be healthy. Then you're going to have Avery Bradley, the defender on Kyrie. So it's going to be interesting. Like, Jay Crowder now matched up with Kevin Love. So even though the Cavs, I think, are still a superior team in the East, Celtics aren't far behind. And they can actually make a push to get past the Cavaliers if the conditions are set right. So Cavs have something to think about. They need to make a move because I don't think the Celtics are done. I think they're gonna trade one of their rookies, not the rookies, but one of their picks and one of their wings because they have like 4 of them, and they're gonna get like another big man or possibly another shooting guard. So they're not done. And this Gordon Hayward deal is looking good for Danny Ainge after he did not pull the trigger on Paul George for 2 draft picks or whatever the case is. So this looks very good for them. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. Hoops me Tupa. Peace.